Hello everyone, Razorback Stacker here, and thank you so much for hitting that thumbnail and taking a look at this video. Today's topic is going to be talking about going back to the basics of why we stack this precious metal, this nice shiny precious metal called silver. So this video is basically going to be for the new stacker as myself, and to make the video a little bit shorter, I'm going to divide this first topic of getting back to the basics into two parts. So today's first part is going to be a little bit about the fundamentals of silver, why and where we use silver, and where the supply or the demand of the silver that we have in this country, actually globally. So after looking at many videos, I've noticed that there's a lot of resources out there to learn about this shiny metal, this beautiful silver. And as anything in life, knowing the basics or the fundamentals of whatever topic it is essential in one, understanding, and two, in our growth. Today, we're going to go to a familiar website that most of us have been to, where we might have purchased some of this nice precious metal, the silver. But before we go there, I want to give you a little heads up. This might be a little boring, because as anything, when you're talking about basics, sometimes it's not so flattering or so exciting that we can't just put it down. So, but I did realize after watching so many different videos of informed stackers that are out there, I realized I needed to know more knowledge. I really didn't know a lot about this silver or precious metals that I stack. So, and I realized that the first thing was I need to understand what I was listening to. And secondly, and probably even more importantly, to have an intelligent conversation when talking about investing silver. You know, whether that's going to be with a fellow stacker or with a family member or a friend, or even at my local coin store, my LCS. I think it's really important that we should know a little bit about what we're talking about. So before we get started, please hit that thumbs up button, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And thank you so much. So let's get right to it. So here we go. Off here at SD Bullion's website, and we're going to be looking at the resources that they offer. Not only do they offer, bullion at great prices and different kind of deals from the doctors, they also offer some fantastic resources on basically the fundamentals of why someone wants to buy or invest into silver, bullion, and for that matter, any of the precious metals. So we're going to take a look at it here. So when you go to the website, you go to the far right corner here, and you'll see where it says resources, and you just drop down to investing guide. And we're going to see this come up here right off the bat, where get your free gold and silver guide. Just put in your email address, and voila, you're going to get that ebook sent to you immediately. So, and if we scroll down, you'll see all the different topics that we can enjoy here of these free resources. And the first one here is why own physical, bullion, and it gives us definitions of what bullion is and testing and delusions and lots of great information there. And this is where we're going to focus on here in a bit. But it also talks about buying, selling, and storing your bullion. There's some great insight and, of course, concepts on how to do this. But today we're going to focus on this right here, on silver fundamentals. So as we click on that, it's going to come up to this page here, and we're going to see right off the bat why buy silver bullion. And we can, and as it says here, using more physical transactions all time than any other currency. Silver is historically cheap compared to gold and other financial assets. Precious and limited in supply, silver is a required industrial precious metal for our modern lifestyle. So we're going to keep on reading down here, and there's some interesting facts and information here that that I've noticed here, and I want to share with you. For many thousands of years, silver has served as a trustworthy store of value, money for the day-to-day transactions, and as a vehicle for long-term saving. So basically, species money is a metallic money in all of its forms, i.e. gold, silver, nickel, and copper. So as it carries on here, it says silver is the most common and least expensive of the various precious metals compared to gold bullion, platinum, and palladium bullion, often referred to as the poor man's gold. Silver got first minted in Lydian coinage around 600 BC. So I actually looked that up. One of the very first coins that was actually minted way back a long time ago. And this was a gold, you can see down here, this was a gold stater from Lydia, one of the first coins in the world. Such coins were the very first coins to be used in the world. Just imagine having your hands on that bad boy. That would be awesome. So as we scroll down, silver coins throughout history got mostly struck in sterling silver. Coins typically have copper added to achieve further durability during monetary circulation. Virtually every thriving culture since the end of ancient times issued or had sterling silver coinage in their financial system. Examples include the Lydian coins that I just showed you, the Greek silver coins, the Roman denarius coin, the British pound, sterling silver coins, U.S. silver circulation coins, and the Canadian silver circulation coins. So than a merely monetary metal, silver today is a heavily used industrial metal. Silver remains second only to crude oil in the amounts of real world products and applications for this shiny, precious commodity. So why is silver valuable? Well, we can see right here that by its inherent nature, the element silver has an extremely high reflection for light, hence it's used in mirrors. It is the most electrically conductive metal of all. It is the best thermal transmitter of all metals. It's germicidal and thus used in various antibacterial applications. Easily malleable and ductile, only slightly harder than gold, and it's produced in star supernova. Very rare and precious on Earth. So now we're going to talk about silver supply. And if we scroll down here, there's a lot of information here. I'm not going to read it all, but I just kind of want to highlight some of the important stuff here that I think is important. So most silver, about 70% of it, gets mined as a byproduct of other industrial and precious metal mining efforts. Only a tiny amount of silver comes from, quotation marks, silver-only mining efforts. The reason for this has much to do with the difficulty and profitability executing silver mining only efforts. Let me go to the chart that I had here of the top 10 nations that produce, and we can see the number one here as the article even talked about, because I got this here. I got this is dated May 30th of 2023. So this is a more current article than the one that's been published by SD Bullion. The first one we notice is Mexico produces the most at 6.3 million tons of silver, followed by China, followed by Peru, followed by Chile, followed by Australia, followed by Poland, and then Bolivia, Russia, and the United States. We kick in at number 9. And the last one of the top 10 is Argentina. So we're going to continue on here and keep on reading. And it says, how much silver bullion is in the world? Expert estimates of government silver supplies total 89.1 million ounces, or about 2.5% of the 3.5 billion troy ounces of silver likely above ground in 999 investment or grade form. In 1964, the U.S. government, for the most part, ended silver in much of its circulating coinage due to years of deficit spending and lessening silver bullion reserves. Other foreign governments such as Britain, Canada, Australia, Mexico, as well as the United States, all moved away from striking and circulating silver coinage for essentially the same reasons. So now we're going to talk about silver demand. For the past 10 years, annual worldwide physical silver demand has averaged over 1 billion troy ounces per year, according to the Silver Institute World Silver Production. So if we scroll down even farther, we're going to see what is silver used for today. We can see it's reserved in, for batteries, for electronics, for silver, for solar panels, and solders. And there's a whole bunch of different products here for each one of these categories where silver is used. So I saw some interesting facts here. How much silver is used in a computer? Well, we have about 1 gram of thinly placed silver coatings in a computer. So how much silver is used in a cell phone? Well, a cell phone typically uses just over 0.37 grams of silver, priced about 20 United States dollar, 20 cents at $17 for spot. So I found that kind of funny. So it doesn't use a lot of silver, but we still need it. How much silver is used in solar panels? Well, about 2/3 of a troy ounce of silver, or about 20 grams. And, you know, there's an old thing, you might as well put your money where your mouth is. Well, not only do I believe that this is going to be huge worldwide for solar panels, here recently in the last 6 months, I actually had solar panels installed into my house, which is, we are saving a ton of money on fuel charges and taxes, and by selling our electricity that we are producing back to the grid. So there we have it. Part 1 is in the books of Back to the Basics. Today we basically talked about why we buy silver bullion and why is silver so valuable. We also talked about the silver supply and where it's mined from. We showed you the top 10 countries in the world. And finally, we talked about silver demand and its industrial uses. So on our next video, on part 2, we're going to talk about or diving into, to me, a very important issue, and that is investment demand and how spot prices are determined. So once again, thank you very much for watching already. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share. And if you have another resource or a link on the web that you'd like to share with us, do in the comment section below. I would really appreciate that. And until next time, Razorback's motto is, there's always room for one more.